Please note, this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It is not a replacement for professional mental health, care, or treatment.
If you or a loved one is in crisis, please call 911, go to your nearest emergency room, or contact the crisis hotline for your area.
The number for anywhere in the United States is 1-800-621-0379.
Or you can text HOME to 741-741. Hi, I'm Destiny.
And I'm Amy.
And we are Break Free. Welcome to our podcast where we invite you to break free from negativity and embrace positivity.
Join us every Sunday for a new adventure where you will rocket yourself into a higher dimension, grow in emotional, mental, and spiritual health, and embark on an exciting new journey. Namaste. Hey, what's up, guys? We're back for another episode.
Hey, our very first episode, August 1st.
I'm excited.
Me too. It's crazy. We recorded this like twice already, full episode, and realized that it wasn't picking up audio on one mic. So this has been a rough episode.
Yeah. It's all trial and error, just troubleshooting and trying to figure it all out.
But we're here.
Yes, we are.
We're showing up.
Yes, we are.
So what are we talking about today?
Okay, so I decided that I think a great topic for this week would be synchronicities, because this last couple of weeks I've had the crazy experience of seeing angel numbers over and over again, specifically 1111. That's the one I'm seeing the most, and it's crazy. It's like every time I look at the clock, it's 11:11.
Yeah, that's like mine with 222 for probably my whole life now. I've seen all the time. It's the only angel number I ever really do see, and it's crazy. 222 I see absolutely everywhere. Every single time I read a book, every time I get the urge to look at a page, it's 222. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's really cool though. So that is a form of synchronicity, is like they call them magical numbers or angel numbers. And I mean, it can come in all variations too. Like another one I've seen frequently is 1122. So which represents new beginnings and like kind of a reset and a do-over, which I've been waiting for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I seriously need one of those. And it also says that if you've been thinking about doing something, like now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
So
what was 222 again? I know we looked it up yesterday.
222. I think I have to look it up again because like I look them up and then I forget.
I know.
unless it's the same one over and over again.
Yeah. I've looked it up a few times, but like the interpretation I got from it was that wherever I'm at in life at that moment, like I'm where I need to be. I'm on the road headed to the direction that I need to go.
Yeah. Which a lot of numbers that come up do mean that. So it's like you are exactly where you need to be. 222 specifically represents like balance, finding peace and balance and harmony. And like everything in your life.
Yeah, that's definitely something I need right now between working graveyard shifts and having the baby and doing this podcast and barely ever even having time to shower, let alone sleep and do anything else. So balance is definitely something I need right now.
Well, and I can only imagine because I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
So, and I don't really plan on it either, but
that's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to have kids. I didn't want kids at one point, and now here I am.
Yeah, so I like being an auntie. Like, I'm going to be the cool aunt, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I know yesterday I was saying, like, I can't wait till they're older so I can, like, take them on roller coasters and stuff like that. So that's, like, I'm going to be the fun aunt that does fun stuff with them. But, yeah, for now, there's little kids, and then I play with them and just get tired from their energy. So
and then give them back to their parents.
That's the best part. No, kids are great. Kids are great. Kids love me too. So I just can only handle them for so long.
Rain had so much fun with you yesterday. It was so cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking, I guess, and she was laughing the whole time. It was great. So the topic of this episode is synchronicities, and the most common one I see is the numbers, which is probably one of the most common synchronicities because we look at a clock every day, so.
Yeah, and people always say, oh my God, I've seen that number so much, and people say it without really knowing that, it is a synchronicity,
Yeah.
Like, I remember I used to see it all the time. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I saw that number, 6 times last week. And I didn't think anything of it until recently, I started looking up, the meaning of seeing these words back to back so much. And, it's a message from the universe. And
I didn't start realizing they were synchronicities and angel numbers until I started to have, my awakening. Which happened, 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember one day I was in this house and every single clock right at the same time said 11:11. It was like, oh my God. I kind of freaked out a little bit. I'm like, I'm going to see a ghost. I'm scared. It scared me. Awakenings can be scary if you don't know what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I used to see them a lot before I knew what they meant, but it was weird because one day I was at the gas station making a purchase and the total came to $9.99. And innately, I knew it meant something. I knew it was a positive sign.
Yeah.
But I didn't know exactly what it meant.
Yeah.
So, just growing up, we all have this innate understanding that there's a greater power. For me now it's the universe, but we all know that in our souls.
Yeah.
Because our souls come from that place.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
it's just us staying in tune with, that part of our soul.
Yeah. So, but there are other types of synchronicities too. So another common one is when you think about somebody and they call you.
Yeah.
Or they text you. I'm usually on the opposite end where I think of somebody and reach out to them and they'll tell me oh my God, you must be reading my mind because I was just thinking about you. And, so that doesn't happen for no reason.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah. We were last week, I think it was with Jimmy, my brother. We were talking about someone, and then not even a minute later, that someone ended up calling his phone, and he's like, dude, we were just talking about you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Or when you're talking about somebody and then they show up, right? That saying, speak of the devil.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, these are all synchronicities, especially if you weren't expecting them to show up, right? So, yeah, it's kind of wild. And my advice to all you out there is if you do think of somebody and you're thinking about reaching out, do it. Do it because you never know why you're thinking about them. Yeah. It's a lot of times I've had it happen where I reached out and realized that this person was having a hard time and needed support. So because I reached out to them when I thought about them, I was able to be of help to them. Yeah. So don't ever hesitate, just do it.
That or what's happened to me a few times is if you lose touch with a friend or someone or a family member and you haven't talked to them in a while and you think about them and then you call them and they're like, oh, I was thinking about you, and then you get into this conversation and then all of a sudden that relationship is now back to where it was before you guys distanced, and I feel that a lot of the times is a great thing because we want to be close with the people that we love and, our friends that, we miss and stuff like that. So I feel like the universe knows that we miss a certain someone and that's why we think about them. And that's why they end up thinking about us at the same time.
Right. Yeah. There's always a purpose.
Yeah.
And you're not really ever going to know what that is until, until you reach out, until you have a conversation, or you may not know till later on down the road.
Exactly.
And be like, I think we were meant to cross paths again because like, look where we are now.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So another form of synchronicities is if like you're having a problem or you're trying to make a decision about something, but you're not sure what to do and you're feeling lost. Something or someone will come along with a solution to that exact problem, right? And it's like they have a solution and they tell you about it or you hear about it, but they had no idea you were having that struggle. And it's like, oh my God, like I needed to talk to you or I needed to hear that like right now.
Yeah.
And that happens to me a lot. A little background. I am in AA because I'm a recovering alcoholic. And when I go to meetings, it happens all the time. Like if I'm struggling with something, then someone shares about exactly what I'm struggling with, or maybe even something a little different, but their solution is the same. And it's like, wow, I needed to hear that, especially the days I really don't want to go to a meeting. Those are the days that when I force myself to go, those are the days that I hear exactly what I need to hear.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And same for like me showing up and sharing something. I needed to be there that day because someone needed to hear what I shared.
Yeah.
And it's like, you never know that people are having these problems.
Exactly.
And you share about it. And then they're like, I'm so glad that you shared today because that is exactly what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
So.
That reminds me a lot of earlier, I want to say about a month ago, they sent it out. So Rain was born this year in January, and they just passed this new child tax credit thing that they're giving money to every parent for each kid. And I didn't think I was going to get it because I thought it was for kids who were born 2020 and before. And I was in such a financial hole. I was negative in my bank account. I didn't have a job. I had the baby. I had no idea what I was going to do. I was looking for a job. I got turned down for this job. And then a few days later, that job called me back and offered me the position, making more money than I ever have in this position. And then that same day they offered me the job, I got the child tax credit that I didn't think I was going to get. So not only did I get a new job making more money than I ever have in this position, I also got, that child tax credit, which covered what I was negative in my bank account plus some. And I was so stressed out about what I was going to do financially. And then all of a sudden, all of these things were thrown at me. And it was like the universe was like, here, you need this. I feel like that has a lot to do with that last synchronicity that you were talking about.
Right. Oh, yeah. And to speak to that, like my whole life has been experiences of being stressed out about how am I going to cover this or how am I going to cover that, and always having exactly what I needed, and it's like, and you think about it in hindsight, it's like, where did that money even come from? Like, I'm not used to having that much,
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. Like this month, July, we're in July right now, is my worst. It's usually my worst income month every year with my current job because we get paid by the hour, and every pay period has a different amount of days because we only get paid twice a month. So July is the month that has the least amount of hours, work hours. And so my paychecks are always the lowest and my bills are always the highest. Like electric, forget about it because it's so hot. But so like my electric bill is like sky high, and it's funny. It's like every summer is when I tend to start having money problems, right? Like I always struggle financially in the summertime. Maybe I should start planning for that from now on because it's every summer. Yeah. Something comes up. So yeah, but, and I stress about it, but I always have what I need and I'm always okay. And, so no, I don't have extra money to go play with, but I have exactly what I need. In that moment, and I'm okay. I have a roof over my head. I have food in my stomach, Exactly. So
exactly. And then back to what you said about planning for it. I just want to touch real quick on what we were talking about yesterday. Sometimes planning isn't always the way to go because the universe most of the time has different plans for you, you know? Like me, I am such an organizing freak and I like to plan absolutely everything. Everything has a place and a place has everything.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I plan something, it never goes to plan.
Right.
You know, even though it makes me feel good and it makes me feel organized to have things planned out,
Mm-hmm.
things don't always go to plan.
Well, so it's like plan for stuff with the knowledge and the understanding that it's going to turn out probably different.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's always good to still have an ideal.
Yeah.
Because you know what you're reaching for. You know what you're going
exactly.
at, you know. And, but if you don't plan at all, then you're not prepared.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
So I'm mostly mentally prepared for everything. Like, I'm never actually like physically prepared for stuff. But
I am mentally prepared for absolutely everything because I am a big overthinker. I overthink absolutely everything.
Just like this podcast.
I know. I take notes all the time, and you're always telling me, Destiny, we'll go with the flow. Stop trying to plan our script and everything.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. I'm the type of person who likes to keep things in life organic and just go with the flow and just have things go as they go. Like, because I mean,
I think my biggest reason for that, though, is because my brain has so much going on in it at every moment of every day that it's so hard for me to like keep track of my thoughts and like focus on like a specific thing. So if I organize my thoughts and I kind of plan everything, it helps me keep my brain organized, if that makes sense. You know? My brain goes a million miles a minute at all hours of the day and night.
Yeah.
So planning just helps me relax, I think.
Yeah. I think my brain goes like zero. I mean, it doesn't like it's so funny because sometimes people ask me like, what are you thinking about? And I'm like, nothing. Like there's literally nothing in my head. And
I would give anything for that.
Well, sometimes it's weird though. It's weird because at the same time when I need to think about something, I struggle. Like I struggle to think about it. And people ask me that and I'm like, I'm not thinking about anything. Why? And they're like, you just have this very like focused look on your face, or this very concentrated look on your face.
I see that all the time.
I'm just off in la la land. I'm because there's nothing going on in my head. I'm
like not even like a fantasy. Or
I'm
anything?
not even daydreaming about anything. I'll just be staring off into space. It's like I just totally just shut down. I don't know.
Yeah, me, if I look like that, I'm thinking about 5,452 things at the same time. I'm running through all the files in my brain.
Yeah. No, I just don't do it. I don't think a lot.
Yeah. I'm always thinking of new ways to do things and about the future and about the past and about the present and about this and about that and about absolutely everything. What could go wrong? What could go right? What could go, neutral?
I think I've just gotten used to like learning how to quiet my mind. Oh, that is just kind of like
I used to be very good at quieting my mind.
Yeah.
Like so good between meditating and yoga that I used to do every single day. And then I had a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that doesn't work anymore.
Well, I know like one of the best ways to get your mind quiet is to get out of your head what's in your head. So that's by talking to somebody or journaling or,
Yeah.
For me, it's talking. I just like talk to people and there's never really anything I'm keeping to myself. So that's why my mind's so quiet all the time.
And it makes sense because my outlets used to be yoga and meditation, writing and reading. Those were my 3 coping mechanisms. Those were my 3 outlets to get everything out of my brain. And now I don't really do any of those anymore because my life is so busy now. I know that's just an excuse, but I mean, I do still write sometimes. Like I just downloaded a digital journal for myself that I'm going to start using. And the main reason why I did it is because I know we have like some journal wow, I cannot speak. Journaling challenges coming up in the podcast. So I downloaded a digital one only because my hands have been messed up since pregnancy. So I figured typing is a lot easier than writing for me at this point. So
you can even do talk to text.
Yeah.
Just talk to your phone.
Exactly.
Your phone will become your best friend.
Yeah. So I have been journaling a little bit, but I feel like reading was probably my biggest one because when I'm reading, I'm living that life. I'm not in my own brain thinking about my own things. I'm just in that one world in that book, you know? So that was probably one of my favorite outlets to get everything in my brain just to quiet up.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah.
Find an outlet, let your, imagination take you wherever it takes you, and get out of your own brain. Stop stressing yourself out like me.
Yeah. Well, so another synchronicity is like intuition is a form of a synchronicity. Like if you're in a situation, or even if you're just like talking to somebody and you just have like in this weird intuition about them or the situation, and something telling you to like get away, or, your intuition is something that is very important to listen to. But it is a synchronicity, because a synchronicity is basically like your guardian angels or
a message from
the universe coming to you and saying, pay attention.
Yeah.
Wake up, look at this.
Yeah.
Recognize that this is a situation that either you need to get out of or walk towards. So intuition is very strong.
Yeah, and I struggle with that these days. My intuition used to be so good. I used to listen to my gut with everything, and my gut was always right. And then, I don't know, somewhere in the last few years, I've just lost my intuition, or either that, or I've just ignored it and forgot what it felt like, So I definitely struggle with that a lot lately.
Well, if your mind's not quiet, you're going to have a harder time noticing your intuition.
Exactly.
So, which is why my intuition is probably like so as strong as it is, because my mind's so quiet. So.
I'm jealous.
Well, there's good things and there's like, kind of not so good things about it, because, I'm not working my mind constantly. So when I have to work it, like it takes a lot of work to get it to like, function properly.
Get those gears turning.
So, but it's important to be able to exercise your mind. So very important.
Yeah. If you guys have any ideas on different things that we can do to exercise our mind or to quiet our mind, definitely let us know, and, comments on our socials or whatever you use as a coping mechanism or an outlet to quiet or get your gears turning in your mind, let us know.
Yes. And then there's also symbols. Objects and symbols are synchronicities. So I know somebody who her symbol is whenever she sees a hawk. Whenever she sees a hawk in the air, or no, is it an eagle? I think it's an eagle. Sometimes she'll see a hawk and think it's an eagle, but it's whenever she sees one, though, to her, it's like her spirit animal, right? So spirit animals. Other people will find a specific coin, which usually I've heard it mostly that it reminds them of a past loved one. But when those show up, that's their loved one saying like, hey, I'm here. For me, it's been feathers. And the coolest one I have found recently was pure white. It's like the first pure white feather I've ever found on the ground, in nature. And I was so excited. And the white feather represents like tranquility and peace. And then the gray and white one is like the most common one I find, which
Me too.
is like a message that all is going to be right with you soon.
Yeah.
And then I also have a black one that I have found. And that's like a form of protection. That's your guardian angels are on defense mode for you and fighting off evil and negativity. Yeah. So I have all 3 of them hanging up in my car. So.
Yeah, white ones, and so pure white and pure gray, and then white and gray ones are the 3 feathers that I have found. I haven't found a black one or any other color, just those 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think it would be cool to find like a blue one or a red one, or I still haven't found one of those yet.
Yeah, that would be cool. One day.
Actually, I remember there was a period of time living in this house where there was a cardinal that was out back every day.
Yeah,
every
we used
morning.
to get those all the time.
Yeah.
We get a lot of robins back there, and I think I've seen like a few blue jays. I think.
Yeah, I think I've seen a blue jay before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not around here often anymore, but I'm sure I've seen like 1 or 2 around here. But definitely cardinals and robins are very popular in our backyard for sure.
Yeah. My spirit animal is a cat, though.
Mine?
100%.
Mine, I would have to say a lion.
A lion?
Yeah, I'm a Leo, so lions are my favorite animal. They always have been.
Well, I'm a Cancer, and I can tell you right now that my spirit animal is not a crab. Okay?
I mean, you can be crabby sometimes.
I like to be crabby. That's because we're moody. Us Cancers are very moody, so...
And me, I'm just a very dominant, sassy pants.
Yeah. Cancers get a bad rap, though. Like,
oh, yeah.
People are like, Cancers are just too emotional. It's like, no. Yeah, we're emotional, but you only think of it in the negative. Yeah. In the negative way, right? Like, yes, we can be, you know, drama queens.
When it comes to emotions, I feel like I should be a Cancer sometimes.
Yeah. But there's the positive side of our emotions too, that like when we become friends with somebody, we're very loyal to them and we care very deeply about the people in our lives, which is why if you burn us in any way, good luck getting our trust back. Yeah. Because that's probably not going to happen. You know, like we don't tolerate that. That's the thing. It's like we're not the types to keep going back to somebody who keeps hurting us. So, yeah. So it's like, if you become friends with a Cancer, know that they're going to be so loyal to you, but don't screw them over because they're not going to forgive you. Yeah. So, you know, and so, yeah, I mean, we're moody and we're emotional and we can be dramatic, but we're also like one of the best people you'll ever know.
Absolutely. So. You're my best friend. You've always been. I've always loved talking to you and spending time with you, you know? Yeah. Even though, like, we didn't grow up with each other, like, I love our sister relationship. Yeah. You know? It's perfect.
Well, my Cancer self calms her Leo self down. I'm a good balance act for her.
Yes, absolutely. Every time I was going through something or just needed to talk, you were always there to calm me down.
Yeah, we're natural nurturers. So... natural caretakers. Yeah. And we'll never be mean to anyone unless we have a reason. Yeah. And we have to have a really good reason to be mean to somebody. So.
I mean, I can be mean sometimes. That might be my Leo side, or that might just be me, but you know.
No, that's definitely Leo. Leos can be mean.
It's not intentional. It's just our dominant personality, you know? We just like to be in charge and in control.
Well, that's why you and your mom have such a hard time with each other, because you're both Leos and you both want to be in control.
And we're both exactly the same.
And you both want to be right.
Yes, yes. It's chaotic in this house living with my mother. You can't even imagine.
That's why I don't live here.
I can't wait to move out.
Because my Cancer self can't handle it.
I need to be the only Leo in a household. I can't have 2 Leos in one household. It just does not work.
Right. Yeah. So like those are the types of synchronicities. There's other types out there. Like anything can really be seen as a synchronicity. It's something that keeps happening over and over again. Like how about deja vu?
Oh, I have those all the time.
Deja vu is like, I had it when I pulled up here today. Like I was getting out of my car and a car was coming and all I could think was like, don't hit my door, don't hit my door, don't hit my door. I did the same thing yesterday. Yeah. When I came over, I had the door open, a car was coming and I'm like, don't hit my door, don't hit my door. I was like, wait, it is Sunday, right?
Yeah. That happens to me a lot, actually. Like, there will be moments where I'm literally, for like a full, I would say the longest it happened was like a 5-minute window. And I was just doing like my normal, I think it was at work. I was doing my normal routine at work. And then for like 5 minutes straight, I kept thinking to myself, I've done this before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I swear I went through this exact same thing at some point in my life, and I don't remember like what it was, but like I felt like I did this before.
Right.
And that happens to me all the time where I'm doing something or I'm experiencing something and I'm like, I've gone through this already.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is weird, but I can't remember the exact moment or time that I already went through that. You know, it's weird to me, but it happens.
Well,
a
lot of times it's a deja vu is a result of something that's happened in a past life too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
I mean, that's not a synchronicity thing. It's just,
yeah,
you know, it's more of like along the lines of if you're working on developing your spiritual life.
Yeah,
like that's always something to look into. Like, look into your past lives.
I've been thinking about it, but I'm like so scared to look into my past lives. I feel like I don't know.
Well, and it's hard to find somebody to do a past life reading for you that is trustworthy.
Yeah.
Or if they're just like making stuff up. So like, I don't know. I've had one done, but I don't know how true or accurate it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But, you know, I try to be open.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. So I feel like I've had a couple done and they weren't the same. The one most common thing that has come up is I've been a witch in a past life. And that's it. But I don't know.
Oh, I can guarantee I was one in a past life too. But yeah, I'm sure like in a past life I was a witch too, but I feel like all of my past lives, I don't feel like any of my past lives are really different from each other,
mm-hmm.
to be honest. Like,
I mean, I honestly think I've been a cat in a past life because I function like a cat.
Yeah.
Like, all I want to do is sleep and eat. Sometimes I like to play, you know?
Yeah, I honestly don't think my past lives were really much different from each other. I feel like I've always been this, you know, the same person I am. I don't even know how to explain the person I am, to be honest. But
it's because your soul has been the same.
Mm-hmm.
You just inhabited different bodies with different experiences. And so,
but like I said, I just don't think that my past lives have been much different from each other. You know, I feel like I've been the same person over and over again is how I feel, to be honest. Like, I don't feel like my past lives differ from each other in any way, really, other than, you know, the whole witch part, because me and mom have had that conversation, and me and mom's mom had the conversation about Poppy, mom's dad, his family being, you know, from Boston and all being witches, and then there was like certain things that you couldn't talk about, and you know, you kind of had to be like hush hush about things. Other than like the spiritual and the magical side of things, or like the witchcraft side of things, I don't feel like I was much different of a person. I feel like I've always been this very dominant, needing to be in control, very organized freak, but then again, carefree, very sassy and ambitious, and just wanting the world and not feeling like I have enough time to get everything that I want, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I feel like I've always been like that in all my lives. I don't feel like I feel like I'm an old soul for sure, but I don't feel like I ventured far away from the path that I'm on now.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's like, I mean, synchronicities are there to give you your messages from the universe, but they also show up to kind of like bring you back and remind you who you are.
Yeah.
So, and I know when I'm most in tune with myself is when they pop up the most for me. So, and I don't tend to notice them as much if I kind of veer off the path.
Yeah.
But I always find my way back.
Yeah.
Somehow. Somehow.
Me too.
You know, it's the self-will that gets me off the path. And then things will happen and my only choice is to get back on.
Yeah.
So, or to keep going and just like keep spiraling and be miserable. But
sometimes we can get in that funk, but like you said, we always find our way back.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, I want to know what experiences with synchronicities you guys have had. So go to our Facebook page or our Instagram and comment on our post. We'll post this episode onto Facebook and onto Instagram. So just go under this episode and tell us like what experiences have you had with synchronicities, and I would love to just pick your brains and see what's going on.
I want to hear all of your stories, every single one. I don't care if it's 5 pages long. I would love to read them. Just let us know.
If it's 5 pages long, send us an email. Send us an email to breakfreesisters@gmail.com. That'll be in the description of this episode as well. So yeah, and the links to our profiles will also be in the episode description.
Also, to touch on like socials and stuff like that, we're still working on our vision boards, but we plan on finishing that and getting them posted and, you know, getting the YouTube video up and everything. But time's getting the best of us. We have very busy lives, but we will get it done. But with that said, if you don't have a vision board already, or if you want to create a new one, or if you want to start fresh, create them and document them and share it with us, because we'd love to see all of your, you know, your visions, your intentions for your life and for the year. So just document your journey with us and, you know, just share it.
Yeah. Maybe one of our next topics should be about manifesting. Yeah, that would be a great next topic, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do manifesting in our next episode.
Yeah, and then we'll probably have our vision boards done by then. Hopefully. Well, yeah, because we're recording our episodes early.
Yeah.
So it's currently July 25th right now, but this episode will be live on August 1st.
Yes.
We will be posting a new episode every single Sunday from August 1st on. So make sure to stay tuned and keep a lookout for all of our new episodes. And yeah, just share your journey with us. And we would love to be along for the ride and have you along with our ride.
Yes. So we are ending each episode with a quote and a breathing exercise, and we're switching off. So it's my turn to do the quote. And let me just pull it up here. Okay, so the quote is called Finding Yourself, and it's by Emily McDowell. Finding yourself is not really how it works. You aren't a $10 bill in last winter's coat pocket. You are also not lost. Your true self is right there, buried under cultural conditioning, other people's opinions, and inaccurate conclusions you drew as a kid that became your beliefs about who you are. Finding yourself is actually returning to yourself. An unlearning, an excavation, a remembering of who you were before the world got its hands on you.
That was beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. And it goes along great with this episode, I think, too, because the one book that I've been thinking about this entire time we've been working on this episode, talking about these things, and especially that quote, is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I recommend that to all of you listeners. If you haven't read that book already, read it. I've read it like 3 times, and it's a great book. And if you have any other book recommendations, let us know, because I'll read them.
I've read the highlights of the book.
Yeah.
I'm not a big reader, so but I get the gist. I know what the 4 agreements are. I mean, I can't quote them off the top of my head. It's been a while, but
I know the first one is don't take anything personally.
Yes. That was a big one for me.
That's my favorite one. Don't take anything personally. And I still have to tell myself that all the time, because I take everything personally.
Isn't one of them everything is temporary?
Yeah. I something like
or
that.
Or nothing is permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you are struggling to, going on the topic of finding positivity in your life, if you are going through a hard time, just your new mantra is going to be, it's just temporary.
Yeah.
Okay.
This too shall pass.
You just, every time it's bothering you, every time it comes up, say to yourself, it's only temporary. Because everything is, if you look back over your life, every hard time you've been through, did it stick? Was it a permanent thing?
And you know what's funny?
Probably not.
You know what's funny? Mom tells us all the time, this too shall pass.
I know.
She's always told us.
I learned it in AA.
Yeah.
But
I just find it funny because Mom, even though she is who she is, I love her to death, but she can be a lot. She just the things that she's told us growing up definitely makes a lot of sense now that I'm older.
Yeah.
Like this too shall pass, or don't forget to smile because when you smile, you feel happy. And that is such a big thing because they teach that in businesses now. If you're on the phone, smile because you sound happy.
Yeah.
And if you smile, you feel happy.
Right.
So
yeah,
I feel like those little messages from people definitely go a long way.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's true. If we can let go of the don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, right?
I got this.
All you little teenagers out there, listen to the adults because trust me, they know a lot more than you think they do.
Yeah. If I listened to my parents as much as I should have when I was a kid, I'd probably be in a much better position in life.
Definitely. And
yeah.
I probably wouldn't have as, many issues as I have these days because I didn't listen.
Right.
But all right, well, that was a beautiful quote. Now we're going to go ahead, do you have anything else you want to touch on before we go ahead and wrap this up?
No, I think we've covered as much as I can think of with my non-functioning brain.
I know. I'm not really functioning right now either. I'm so tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep literally in the last 2 weeks since I started working, but it's fine.
All right. Well, now it's time for a reset, right?
So let's go ahead and move on to our breathing exercises. So please make sure you are not driving while we are doing this. Go ahead and find a quiet place to sit or lay down or get comfortable and just, enjoy yourself with us. We're going to start with one big deep breath in. Hold for 3, 2, 1, release. One more in. Hold. And release. Last breath in. And let it all go. That was peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for listening, and we will talk to you next time.